Hey guys, it is Ben, aka the Fusebox. It is time for yet another Fusebox Engaged. And, I wanted to kind of delve into just some things I'm noticing in terms of how X seems to be kind of going through, what would you say? I guess it would be kind of an Animal Farm scenario, is the best way I'd describe it. But I am bringing on my awesome special co-host who we met last time. It is the Libertarian Goth. What is up?
Hello, hello. It's been quite a wild day.
So what's been going on with you on X?
Oh, goodness. What hasn't? So, just today, there has been so much drama surrounding President Trump calling for Congressman Thomas Massie to be primaried. And if anybody follows me, they know I'm extremely protective of Mr. Massie. Very protective. I admire him. He's on. I have him on my merch. He's just he's a national treasure. I even told him one time, if you wake up and see Nick Cage standing on your front lawn, it's because you're a national treasure. And I actually made him laugh. So that was probably my peak in life. It's been a lot of drama surrounding that today. And before that, it's just always just constant. Whatever's going on in the news, everyone's just going on about the Epstein files, and then just the people on the left are just unhinged and just constantly going just wild. But today, it's people on the right who are huge Trump supporters that back him no matter what, versus the libertarian leaning people or people who just admire Thomas Massie. And it's just been like you said, it's been like Animal Farm.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like that's kind of a microcosm of what I've just been witnessing happening over the past few months, especially, where it seems like it's like everybody was against in Twitter 1.0 how, there were the big mobs that would jump on your feed and shout you down and call you names and try to dox you and all that stuff just for having a dissenting opinion. And then it was okay, Elon took over. It's the new age. Okay, we're getting rid of all of that. But now it's everybody is eating their own. It's everybody's turning on each other and factioning off. And I just hate seeing the cycle go again.
I will say that I'm actually kind of humored by that. There's something that's kind of come out of this. So libertarians are known for not getting along with each other or anybody. However, they've all united behind Thomas Massie today. Every single one of them. And that's the one thing we can all agree on is that we all adore Thomas Massie. And everybody else is fighting when the libertarians are actually getting together for once to defend Thomas Massie. So that's been a great and hilarious kind of outcome of it, I guess. Not only silver lining, because I know it's not going to last very long. We'll go back to disagree tomorrow, probably.
I mean, that's kind of how, I think I used to kind of identify as libertarian, and I don't really know what I am today. I think, because I agree with little elements of each party. In terms of, I agree with being kind of liberal in terms of my social interactions, but I believe in being kind of conservative when it comes to religion and tradition. But then I also believe in the libertarian stance of just live and let live.
Right.
Everybody's an individual. Let them have the same rights you want for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can see that. And despite my appearance, I'm actually quite conservative in some ways. I guess more socially conservative. I'm very much about traditionalism when it comes to gender roles and family and the family unit, strong family units and such. So when it comes to a society, I'm all about treat your fellow man like you want to be treated, and have think about others when you're doing stuff. Don't be loud in public. Just society, like behave in society. Behave. However, when it
Yeah.
comes to the government is it's just like a complete 180. Like I will go on and angry tirades about the government, whereas if I'm in society, I'm super polite. I use my manners. Always speak in an upbeat tone when I speak to strangers because I know I have RBF. So, I think you really can separate how you believe politically, because politically I'm very libertarian. I'm very all about liberty, fiscal responsibility. But when it comes to societal stuff, I'm very much about kind of conservative ways. I very much adore like how Christians kind of are, in the sense where the kind ones, where they treat others with just absolute kindness to others, and that's just it's not like I'm gonna be a jerk just because I can. That's not the liberty stance that I feel societally and politically. That could just be completely different.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think I'm pretty much simpatico with you on that.
Do you return your shopping cart?
I think I haven't used a shopping cart in a hot minute because I live alone. So,
Oh.
I mostly just carry everything myself because I want to try to show off. And then
You
I end up, I end up like falling all over myself. And
I heard that the shopping cart thing is actually kind of a test. If you do return your shopping cart, it means you can live in a civilized society without having to be checked. Whereas those who don't are just chaotic and cannot live in a civilized society.
I would agree with that, considering I'm working as a stock clerk at a grocery store right now, and I can't stand people leaving their carts out.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
always
have to
return
get them.
Yeah. Well, I return others too. Like if they leave it out, like I'll even grab and return it. Like I get weird looks all the time. Like I don't care. Like put your carts away. And clean up after yourself. If you're at a restaurant, like don't leave a mess just because you have little kids there or whatever. Like you always, clean up after yourself. Doesn't matter if they're paid for it. Have some consideration.
I think the vast majority of libertarian-minded people kind of fall into that category of being very conscientious, because the idea is it's like with boundless freedom, that's only going to work if people are self-disciplined and willing to be generous.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I really feel like the people who are like that do lean more towards liberty. However, you do have that kind that want to mandate kindness, which is usually the people on the left. And when you mandate kindness, it's generic. It's just forced. It's not genuine. Whereas, if you are about liberty, you're obviously not trying to mandate kindness. You just naturally are trying to be kind. And I think that's the best. Not just because I don't like comedies, but...
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my favorite thing that I love to debunk, because I like to mix it up a little bit when I'm on X, but not much. Like, if I see certain tropes or in certain posts, like the one in particular that I always see is, Jesus was socialist. That's my favorite one, because it's like, no.
Nope.
Jesus was not a socialist, because he at no point did he say that you need the government to come in and be charitable for you.
Right.
Or do all the good deeds for you, or make you do the good deeds. It's like, no. You have to take that responsibility on yourself.
Right, exactly. And the thing is that Jesus was not imposing a system of government either. So trying to say that he was socialist, socialism is a form of government. And Jesus was talking about your spiritual self, how you carry yourself, and that's completely different. You can't even try to compare the two, because the government is man ruling over man.
Absolutely.
And it's just, you can't say that Jesus was trying to set up any kind of man ruling man anything. He was a heavenly host or whatever, trying to speak about how you can find your way into heaven and do away with earthly things, which government would be an earthly thing. So That's a dumb argument.
Oh yeah, and plus, I mean, most leftists despise theism in general. So
Yeah.
it's like they love that story where Jesus gives the new commandment. You know, oh, what is up, Flip City? But yeah, they love the story where Jesus says, you know, do unto others as, or do unto others as your or no. He said, a new commandment I give to you, love your neighbor as you love yourself, that kind of thing. And it's like, okay, what's the first part of that story? The first part of that story was he asked the group of people, what's the greatest commandment? And one of them answered, it's I am the Lord thy God, thou shalt have no other gods beside me. And he said, yes, that's correct. That's the part of the story they cut off, you know, when they're talking about Jesus. They only talk about the second part. It's like you need both.
Yeah, and it's so weird whenever you try to get these leftists that try to quote the Bible and act like they know so much about it, when everything is that, like you said, they despise it. And if they really understood it, they wouldn't despise it like they do, but they just think they have to rebel against like their parents or some stupid stuff.
Oh, definitely.
But you know, I was raised down south. You know, I would consider myself more of a deist than anything, but I have a lot of respect for Christianity, and it's not something that I'm going to sit here and trash or diss. But I think it's so funny how they always try to bring up things that they don't believe just to try to guilt or morally blackmail others. It's like, you don't even believe it, so are you trying to like fish it out of me with my own beliefs?
It's their version of trying to, I guess it's like, oh, this is me identifying with your worldview. You know, because like most of them are pretty sociopathic in my opinion, but you know.
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah, or narcissistic is more. Yeah. Because it's that whole like, I'm such an empathetic person, but they really can't, like, if you ask them to describe your argument back to you, it's going to be something completely alien.
Yeah, total righteous indignation. That just describes them completely.
I normally don't do politics on my channel, but I was like, what the hell, you know?
Well, you have someone that is just not strictly politics, but it's in my name. My politics are in my name, so
I know
it's understandable how it kind of goes that route. So my apologies that we went that route. But
that's not you. That was me. Like, I was just like, I was like, I'm trying to think of something pop culture to talk about, and again, like, it's like I'm kind of hitting a dry well there because not a heck of a lot's really piquing my interest.
Well, there's actually, so last time you asked what movie that I was looking forward to. I can't think of the name now. It's the name of like a painkiller or something. And it's got the guy who played Huey from The Boys. What is the name of it? It's coming out. It's basically like he's like kind of like a superhero in a way where he can't feel pain.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about? That movie? Have you seen the previews for that?
I haven't.
It's, okay, so... you know, like, have you watched The Boys?
I haven't, but I've heard a lot about it just reading on X.
It's such a good show. It is such a good show. Now, of course, you don't want the kids to watch it, but it's an amazing show. And on The Boys, he is probably like one of the main characters. But in this movie, why can't I not think of the name? Here, I gotta look this up. Okay, because he actually is what's called a nepo baby to the lead guy, and
what's up, Michael Beacon? It's been a hot minute.
Let's see. New movie with Huey with The Boys. Let's see, this Jack Quaid. That's his name, Jack Quaid. Novocaine. That's the name of the movie, Novocaine. Because he can't feel pain at all. And I don't know exactly how the plot's going to go because they don't try to give away too much in the previews. But basically, he can't feel pain. Like, he can put his hand in a basket of fries, like when it's frying, and like not even feel it. And in the preview, he like gets tied up by some like bad dudes, and they're trying to torture him, and he's having to pretend that it hurts, and it was kind of funny. So it looks like it would be kind of like one of those like funny, kind of actiony, almost thrillers. So it'd be kind of different to see Jack Quaid in something that's kind of funny, because The Boys, it has its funny moments, but it's not really a comedy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, Nova King, with Jack Quaid.
Well, now I have to pull it up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, I don't know how copyright stuff works with trailers. Like, do they like to nab
Well,
you
we're kind
for
of
that?
reviewing it.
I mean, yeah, you know.
Hi.
Yeah, no, I couldn't feel it at all.
Holy shit. Can you feel this?
I'm just a regular guy, but I don't feel pain.
Oh my God, what am I doing?
Be careful, dude. You can still die. I won't stop till I get her back.
Bad week to quit drinking.
You quit drinking?
No. I just mean it would be.
That's my spirit animal. That's the guy. That guy represents me. All, you know.
You're gonna love this. You can take a punch.
This is wild.
Oh shit, sorry. It's fine.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Like, I love Jack Quaid. Yeah, that looks awesome.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I'm just happy to see anything that isn't the usual tropes.
Yeah, that's actually something that's a bit new, and it's got this actor who is quickly becoming up and coming and loved because of such a popular show like The Boys. And the concept is funny too. It looks like they kind of are putting a humorous spin on it, which in a way you kind of can't not put a humorous spin on that. Like you saw at the very end, like he's trying to throw a knife for him to fight the guy, and it just goes into his hand. So it looks like it to be like a very fun, very funny sort of a movie, and I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna probably check that out. You know, I think the last modern thing I watched was the Penguin series, and that was really good.
That was pretty good.
That blew my mind.
Yeah, I'm not even big on DC myself, but that was pretty good.
I'm a casual, you know, like I always check out movies and TV of superheroes before I look into comics on them. And I know that that's bad because I'm a comic writer, but you know.
Yeah, understandable. You know, and actually, you know, The Boys is actually a comic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, like you said, you might want to check out the show beforehand. The show doesn't exactly follow the comic like a lot of things, but it's still a great show. The comic itself, I only know snippets of it.
Well, I heard that The Boys started getting kind of political, I think, towards like season 3 or 4.
The last season, yes, was a bit political, but it was still good. It was still a good show. But yeah, unfortunately, it did go political, but it wasn't. I don't know. It's hard to say because I don't want to give away anything and giving away spoilers. But yeah, the last season was. But the first seasons are they're wonderful. I just absolutely love the show. I have nothing but great things to say about it.
Well, heck yeah. But let's see. I'm trying to. I was thinking of something and it totally slipped my mind. Don't you love it when that happens live on air?
Oh yeah, I have ADHD, so that happens to me all the time.
I probably have ADHD. I haven't bothered to get it checked.
Yeah, but why bother if you're not going to take the medication? The medication just kind of zones you out.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was diagnosed as having it, and then I was taking the pills. And then at one point the doctors were like, "Oh, we think he like grew out of it." And so they took me off of it.
I don't think anyone really grows out of it. I think they just learn how to cope with it.
Well, it's the best. I think it's people who are creative that manifest the symptoms.
Yeah, and that's just because I think it's because the way your mind is constantly going whenever you have it. And that's one reason why I'm usually kind of up late, why I'm on my phone really late, like laying in bed on my phone. Like a lot of people do that, I know, but my mind, I cannot switch it off. It's like I have to be passing out for me to be able to actually go to bed. Like, I mean, it sounds kind of weird to say that. Like, I'll be on my phone and playing a game and then like doze off playing it. Like, otherwise, if I lay there and then the lights off and I'm not doing that, like, I'll be up all night.
Well, speaking of games, have you ever played a certain game that just turned 30 today called Chrono Trigger?
I've heard of it. There were like some memes back in the day. I think. Wait, was that the Brian Peppers song? Like the little theme?
I'm not sure.
Do you know who Brian Peppers is?
I have no idea.
Okay, so you're not that old though, either.
I mean, I'm an old man. My favorite medicine commercial. Side effects include... Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why bother?
Side effects may include loss of oxygen intake, heart attack, stroke, depression, erectile dysfunction.
Like the symptoms are not symptoms, but the side effects are worse than the actual thing that
Existential
you're taking it for.
crisis.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Chrono Trigger is definitely up there in terms of like, I think most people would consider it to be the greatest JRPG of all time.
Hi, terrorists.
And I haven't played it in a hot minute, but I've beaten the thing so many times. But yeah, I just saw today that Chrono Trigger just turned 30, and I'm seeing everybody sharing all kinds of stuff. Gotta love it.
See, I haven't seen anything about that today.
Yeah, I would say it's one of those old like Nintendo games with like the little sprite characters, and it got remastered for PlayStation 1.
Oh.
And when they did it for PlayStation 1, they had Akira Toriyama, the guy who did Dragon Ball, do a bunch of awesome animated cutscenes for it.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah, I looked it up.
Yeah.
It is Brian Pepper's theme song. Maybe I'll have to like post some stuff about Brian Peppers and the memes before the days of memes.
I can like in a quick little summary of it. It's basically like in this little fantasy world, the character Chrono meets this princess, and through his inventor friend, they accidentally go back in time, and then they go forward in time, and when they go forward in time, they find the end of the world, and so the game is about trying to prevent the end of the world.
Oh.
And I mean, it's really cool how like it's one of those games where you could actually challenge the final boss like right in the beginning if you wanted to. You would probably get destroyed, but I mean, the idea is like you can challenge the final boss at any time, but it's better to play through the full story so you can end up leveling up enough. And yeah, it's such a great, it's so great.
Yeah, I personally never played it. I only know the name as well as the little some song that goes with it. Because in my early internet days, because I'm old school troll and memes before the memes, I was kind of part of the whole like Wild West internet troll thing, and Chrono Trigger's theme was used as a background theme for this guy named Brian Peppers, and he was a meme, and I'll have to explain. I'm not going to explain it on here, but if you want to look it up, feel free to look it up. Anybody, I'm not going to get into Brian Peppers, but yeah, he was a meme before the memes.
Nice. He was the proto meme.
Mm-hmm.
Getting ads for eczema meds, side effects include. Okay. Well, yeah. But I mean, do you really want to be itchy? Like, isn't it worth the risk?
It looks like you're dancing all the time and your liver's failing, but at least you're not itchy.
Exactly. It's all about the bright side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, FF6. Here's the thing. I am bad about this because I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan, but I never finished playing Final Fantasy 6. And I know a lot of people would hate me for that because they consider 6 to be like the best, but I consider 7 to be the best. I'm bad.
I never got into Final Fantasy personally. And I did find the name weird, called Final Fantasy, yet there's like, 21 of them?
I know, and I know the story behind that. I actually know that.
What?
And it was... So, when they were doing the first Final Fantasy, at the time, Square Soft was going under. Like, it was basically like, okay, you've got money to do one more game, and that's it. You're closing up shop. So they were like, this is our Final Fantasy. But the game was so successful that it pulled them up from under. So they were like,
pretty cool.
okay.
It's
Yes,
the
you
game
did.
That saved him.
Apex, everybody eventually falls into a Fusebox stream. It's kind of like in the Loki show when we were talking about last time. It's like the Nexus, if you will.
Yeah.
It's the point where all timelines converge.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh.
Yeah.
JRPG nerd. I just never I like some RPGs. Like I got into World of Warcraft. I guess that one considered one. And
No, but
but what is it considered? I know it's got like a certain kind of.
I think World of Warcraft is American. I don't know.
Oh no, J Japanese. Okay, never mind. Okay, I get it. I'm like a super
Yeah.
weeb, and I didn't get that one.
I don't play a lot of I don't really play MMORPGs, which I think is what you're talking about.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. MMORPGs.
Yeah, because I never got into them because I was like, I feel like at that point I would never have a life.
Yeah, it does get addicting, but luckily I did not get addicted to playing it. I can't really do that with video games. Like I can put them down, come back to them.
You're better at that than I am.
Yeah, because I'm still haven't got back on Hogwarts Legacy in maybe almost a month now.
I was a little let down by that game, mainly
What?
because it was the story was very flimsy to me. It was very simple. It was
Yeah, I
like,
can kind of see that.
yeah, it was like I was intrigued by it at first, like the whole ooh, the founders of Hogwarts have this little mystery going on here, and then it's like, okay, well, fight the bad guy of the Goblin Rebellion, and that's it.
Yeah, and actually you're kind of committing goblin genocide throughout the whole thing, clearing these camps and everything. It's just...
Oh, I don't mind that. That's
But
fine.
it was a very... Or it is a very good immersive kind of game. It's very thorough. It's like a whole quarter of the whole thing. I wish the world was bigger,
Yes.
but you still have a pretty decent area to travel around.
The best part was the combat system. Like, that was fun.
Yeah, I really liked that too, as well as like the variety of spells.
Yes. And that was, I wanted a bigger area, and I wanted to be able to do more with the magical creatures
Yeah.
instead of just, we collect them. And look, here's a ball.
Well, you can collect them, kind of harvest like their feathers and fur,
Yeah.
and breed them.
Yes.
But you can't really do much besides just kind of like farm them, unless it's the hippogriff.
And also that big the big tentacly one.
Oh yeah, like the one that runs with the tentacles in the front. Yeah, that one was
Yeah.
wild.
Looks like Cthulhu.
Yeah, that one was pretty wild. That was when I got to that quest when I first played it, I was like what am I doing with this giant creature? And then like it's like you can ride him. And I'm like, this is crazy.
But yeah, I was gonna play for you this awesome animated opening to Chrono Trigger, animated by the great Akira Toriyama himself.
Oh yeah, that's his style for sure.
Oh yeah, they look like characters in Dragon Ball. I mean, that's Goku, you know.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
She was my favorite. There's Bulma.
Yeah.
There's Piccolo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool, but that was very much the exact same style as Unity. But knowing that it's the same guy, then obviously, it's gonna be his style. It's pretty signature, the way he does his characters and such.
I remember my imagination was always running from those cutscenes because I wanted to. It would be cool if somebody had done like an anime, like a full-on anime of the story, but I wouldn't want them to do it nowadays because
Yeah.
they would
Well,
probably ruin it.
Well, if Japan did it, of course, it's not going to be like that. Japan is still pretty untouched for the most part when it comes to all the modernizations and over modernizations of things. So that's actually one thing I miss about Japan.
I mean, I would agree. I think they're kind of leaning here and there in our direction, but not enough to really concern me.
Yeah, it's still great over there.
Yeah.
But they have.
Oh, I was just.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
That's you.
I was just gonna say, like, people here talk about or feminists here talk about the patriarchy. There actually is a real patriarchy in Japan, though.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Especially how like a lot of the characters in anime, like female characters, most of them kind of fall into that. Oh, they're so delicate, and oh, they're so proper and demure, and
Oh yeah.
with the notable exceptions, of course.
Yeah, and it gets a bit deeper than that, but yeah, they actually do have patriarchy there, whereas here, not so much.
But yeah, that frog character is supposed to be a very tragic character because he was a knight that was transformed into a frog after losing his mentor, and he's basically on a quest to redeem himself.
Aw.
But my favorite character was Ayla, who was the cave woman. She couldn't use magic, but she was always using her fists.
Does she actually run like that?
Yes.
Oh.
And in the Japanese cut, which I think they censored for the English release, she's bisexual.
Huh.
Because she hits on both the female characters and Chrono.
Oh, is Chrono the main guy's name?
Yeah.
Oh. See, I don't know anything about it. I just know one thing from it. But I don't know. I can't really like go and play it because it's such an old game. But
You can download it on your phone.
really, it's on the phone now.
I think you can get it from the App Store, or if you wanted to, you can download like the ROM illegally. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah,
With the ROM though, it's like that's how you get that's how you're able to get the PlayStation cutscenes in the game, because they cut those out for the mobile version.
That's wild. That's on mobile version. I have so much crap on my phone already that I probably better not.
Okay.
On Switch, I do have a Switch.
There you go. It's really fun. I would say, and it fits the archetype of what an RPG should be, where it's like each boss you fight, there's a specific strategy you have to do. It's not like you can just go in wailing on him. You have to actually okay, I have to hit this part of him in order to make him vulnerable to this, and then I have to do this, and I miss strategy in games. There's not enough of that these days.
Yeah. Like, saying that makes me think of Ocarina of Time. Like, you have to hit that little spider thing right in the eye.
Yep.
I love that game. That was like my childhood right there.
And it's funny, I think when I first played Ocarina of Time, I couldn't make heads or tails of it because I was young and stupid. And then I rented a Nintendo 64 from Blockbuster, and somebody already had a saved game on there, and I checked that out, and it was right in the middle of the game where you're able to switch between adult Link and kid Link, and I had no clue what I was doing, but I was creeped out because I was in a post-apocalyptic nightmare. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, what adult Link gets to after it's all nice and shiny and sunny, and then you turn to an adult, and then it's just a post-apocalyptic kind of thing. And but the thing is, you have to beat 3 temples before you even get to that point. And after you beat the 3 temples, nothing is the same anymore.
Good lord.
Yeah. It's a
Because
great
yeah,
game.
like I was never a huge Zelda guy.
Mm.
I tried it out here and there, but I didn't really play through it.
That was probably the only one that I really got into. I didn't actually beat it though. I never got completely through it. I couldn't really beat the Shadow Temple, so I just kind of gave up.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Just give
But
up.
I did beat God of War 1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
Goma, yeah, that's her name. Oh. Oh. That's the way to do it. Have your brother beat the big boss for you.
Yeah, I noticed, like, I think I played the Final Fantasy VII Remake games, and I really like them, but at the same time, my major critique is that a lot of the creepy aspects of, like, the bad guy Sephiroth,
Mm.
it's like he's not nearly as scary or intimidating in the remakes. And I was thinking about why, and I realized it's because, like, in the original, there was kind of this build-up to him, whereas, like, in the remakes, he's just popping up every 5 seconds, like, taunting the main character and stuff, and it's like, okay, well, I see him all the time now, so there's nothing intimidating or, like, you're like, oh, can I beat him or not? And also, because they split the remake up into 3 games, they made sure that Sephiroth is the main bad guy at the end of each one. And you fight and defeat him at the end of each one. So it's like, there's no factor of like, oh crap, can we beat this guy? Because it's like, well, we've beaten him before.
Yeah. There's no build up.
That's not good.
No, you got to be able to have some build up because, like, once you get to the end of the game, it's supposed to be like some big like payoff, and if you don't have that, then it just kind of like makes the game very anticlimactic.
Yes, very much. I think, and I also just think in terms of story,
Mm.
because Sephiroth was always kind of like, to me, the gold standard of like, he's like the toughest bad guy ever. Like, he's, you know, he could kill you in 2 sword swipes. And then it's like, with this version, it's like, well, we're at like level, you know, we're at the end of the first part of the first game, which was like, when you're in that part of in the original, you're at like level 15.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, we're fighting him now, and we're beating him pretty damn good. So, heck, we could just go find him right now, like, and kill him.
So where's he at?
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, to me, it all started going downhill around the era when Final Fantasy 13 came out. Because that game was basic. It was, there's no freedom to explore. You go straight down a linear pathway in each part of it. And then for the battle system, you had the option to auto battle,
Oh,
which means you don't press anything. It just does it for you. So it's like, well, what's the point?
yeah. Like that's just, I want, like, the game's gonna just go play the game for you, but that's not fun.
Yeah. And I feel like that's kind of like a lot of modern games are kind of on easy mode that way. Where it's like
Yeah.
people are so into the story, which I loved the story aspect, but it's like they're so into the story, it's like, well, we're just going to make it super easy for you so you can get to the end of the story. It's like that you're killing most of the experience when you do that.
Yeah. There's no point at that time.
Just make a
I don't know.
movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Game journalists. I'm
Game
so glad.
journalism.
I'm so glad that they're going out of business en
Who?
masse. Game journalists in general. Like, so many of their websites are getting shut down because they don't have the
what-
money.
What is the one that was big on Gamergate? Was it Kotaku?
Most likely, I think. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them were always talking about that and bringing up politics in
Yeah.
articles that are supposed to be about games. And then
Inserting that shit in there. Ugh.
oh yeah, and then every time gamers don't like a game, they write articles about how awful gamers are.
Yeah, like why bite the hand that feeds? You know, that's just the. I don't know. I don't get that, but there seems to be a lot of that going around these days.
I see Terrorus is a veteran from the GG Wars.
Yeah, I only read about it after the fact because I followed Milo Yiannopoulos. I think it was like towards the end of it, and he was like, apparently he was like deep into it and talked about it a lot. But that's all I really know. I know of it, but I wasn't like, I don't even say involved, but I wasn't really like around, like in the thick of it during it. So I only know the history of Gamergate.
Yeah, me too. I only jumped into online culture like I think around like 2017 or 2017. I was paying attention, and yeah, Gamergate was kind of being talked about as like a thing of the past.
Yeah, like it would like just happened or was something else. I saw a meme actually tied to Gamergate where it says like something about going back in time, or like mentioning that some girl who makes a bad game has sex with a gaming journalist and ends up leading to almost World War III.
Yes.
Like how things have kind of spiraled, and then like you get Trump, and then like you get Biden, and like all the other stuff, and just kind of how like things have just kind of all gone, almost starting because of that.
So yeah, it was Kotaku, Rock Paper Shotgun, Polygon. I know Polygon and Kotaku. I know those.
Yeah.
Those are like major names.
Yeah, I know those two. I don't know Rock Paper Shotgun.
I know that they're limping along today. Because yeah, Kotaku, I don't know. I think they've been trying to clean up their act a little bit, but
They were
it's almost
so political.
it's almost like it's too little, too late. You know, it's like
Yeah, no one really
okay.
trusts them anymore.
We'll be nice now.
Like, so we don't like you anymore, or at all. It's like we already don't like you, so I'm trying to. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Probably.
I think they were getting funded, or I think at least one of those people were getting funded by the government.
That's wild.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked.
Is there a way to look that up on I don't think Doge has it on their website. Do they? I don't know. I kind of want to start looking up like all these journalism websites and such, and see if they were getting USAID funds to explain how terrible they were.
Well, now I'm looking it up right now.
Like lists of journalism.
Gaming. Let me see. Is this true? Well, hold on. Well, there's something by AP, so I can't trust that.
Yeah. They still call it the Gulf of Mexico. Gulf of America now.
New York Times, fact-checking claims about USAID funding. NPR.
They're not trustable either. They definitely, of course, were getting like, maybe they are supposed to be government funded. But yeah.
God. I'm not seeing too much. I think like there was something on bounding into comics, but I'm a little skeptical of them because I worry that they're a little too, like, how do I put it? I think they're biased to the right a bit.
Really? That's surprising.
I don't think they're bad guys. I just like, you know, I like to be very discerning.
No, understandable. It's just wild to see anybody or anything lean towards the right.
So, okay, Tauroris wants to know what our red pill moment was.
Oh, I don't know if I actually had a moment. Like, I remember watching YouTubes by this guy who was making YouTube videos about government before everybody else started doing all that, like political influencer stuff. His name was Alfonso Rachel, and he was very convincing because I went conservative first before I went libertarian.
Okay.
And the things that he was saying, I was like, that's like totally what I'm for, that sector. But I didn't really understand because I was in college at the same time as I was trying to kind of figure things out. And now, instead of leaving college a liberal, I went in a liberal and left a conservative. I was actually even involved in the PERG, MoPERG, which was actually basically run by commies. And then I ended college hanging out with the Young Americans for Liberty. So
Nice.
I had the opposite experience in college. But yeah, that was kind of my red pill moment was that because I had a very strong love for the Constitution as both as a historical document and as just a nerd for it. And then seeing what aligns, like which party really aligns, and that kind of red pilled me. And then the bump stock ban turned me full libertarian.
I think for me, it was that, yeah, I was raised in a right-wing household. I mean, kind of moderate right. And then, so I was always consuming right-wing media growing up, and I was able to notice, like, you know, how often, like, left-wing outlets would kind of do double speak, or would give information, but they would hold out a vital piece of information that would change your entire perspective.
Very manipulative kind of.
Yeah, and it was things like that. And then I grew up in New Orleans, which is a super left-wing city. And so I encountered, it was moments that, like, I think I remember one time when I was in this filmmaking class for young kids. It was called NOVAC, and it was New Orleans Video Access Center. And there was one time where one of the other kids brought up something about Bush or something. And I kind of said something, I don't even remember what I said, but it was like it was just kind of like, well, I don't know about all that. And it was like the room went quiet.
Yeah.
Everybody turns to me and looks at me like I'm an alien. And I'm just like kind of nervous and the teacher ends up stopping his lesson to try to talk to me about what I believe.
Wow.
And it was things like that, you know?
And then push you further and further because they're actually extremely intolerant, and the natural thing to do is to try to go against them.
Yeah, and there was like, after that, my big thing was I was always very quiet about my politics just around other people.
Yeah. It shouldn't be that way, though. That's really sad that's kind of the norm now, is if you don't lean left, then you kind of have to stay quiet.
Yeah, and yeah, and it was just, you know, I had a lot of lefty friends, especially in college, and they were always saying weird, bizarre things like out of left field, and I was just like, wait, that doesn't make any sense, because I read the same story that they did, and it's nothing like what they're saying.
Yeah.
And then in college, I definitely, I had a few teachers who, well, I had a philosophy teacher who loved to mock religion. And we had a little bit of a, I wouldn't say it was like a major dramatic moment, but I basically mentioned how it's like I thought that God was omnipresent, non-physical entity. and he was just kind of being flippant with me and being like, "Oh well, would God be on like the tip of my finger?" And I just kind of went, "Yes." He's like, "Oh, okay, well, fair enough."
I hate people like that. They're so obnoxious, and they're deliberately disingenuous.
Yeah, and well, it's like you want to sit there and claim that you're so open-minded and accepting of others, but then you'll openly mock somebody for their religion. But it's like, well, it's the approved religion you can mock, you know.
Yeah. There's only well, 2 Abrahamic religions you kind of can.
Yes.
The third one, you can't.
And then there was one other time where I was in an anthropology class, and the teacher was flat out saying, like in a veiled kind of way, he was flat out saying that Mitt Romney was anti-immigration, like just in general. And I just kind of was like, most people on the right are not anti-immigration, they're anti-illegal immigration.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm just pointing out what the article from the New York Times said. Blah blah blah. It is well. Just,
And that was a very
okay.
disingenuous thing for them to say, and you're going to believe it and repeat it back as if it's fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I have absolutely no love for Mitt Romney.
Oh, me
but
neither.
That's BS.
Oh yeah, no, and it's and it's funny. Like I think as I got older, I started to shift a little bit more moderate than I had been when I was younger. Because I started, I wanted to learn other people's point of view, and I felt like a lot of them had some really good points, but it was like I was never afforded the same courtesy.
Right.
They never tried to understand my point of view. They would just kind of tell me what I think,
Yeah, and it's like the approved thoughts.
Oh lordy. I am not a fan of Obama.
Me neither. So, do you think that he had part in the chef,
In the what?
the offing of the chef, or like the chef's death?
Oh, I don't think so. I tend to not jump to the extreme unless there's like really tangible evidence. I think.
I think conspiracy theories are funny though.
Oh yeah, I
Ooh,
just.
like you think he did it? You think he did it?
I don't think he's super Machiavellian. I just think that he's super narcissistic,
Oh yeah.
and he's pretty much like from the get-go. I thought he was like a used car salesman, just giving vague, flowery speeches about hope and change. And it's like I learned through my life that like if a politician is not giving you anything tangible, they're just talking about a future of beauty and all that, it means that either they're going to do the opposite or they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah. Although I don't think it would have been much better if McCain won, honestly, because he was such a war hawk rhino. I just
Yeah. Yeah, I was one of those kids who like I was supportive of the wars because I legitimately believed what they were saying about their justifications. And then as I got older and I read into it more, I had the rug ripped from under me. Because I couldn't conceive of like, why would you kill thousands of people just for like resources or whatever? It's like, apparently, there are people willing to do that, and it was depressing.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the Patriot Act as well. Like that was such an encouragement on personal liberties, and it was just right into there right after 9/11. So that was just a dark time.
Oh, definitely.
intellectual gate. Yeah, that's definitely.
Oh yeah, it was like dealing with cult members.
Oh yeah. Big. Yeah.
Oh, good old Mike. Yes, indeed. We've gone all over the map today.
Yeah.
We went from Twitter to movies to video games to political turnings to,
Yeah. Yeah,
to
definitely
the
all
Patriot Act.
over. Oh yeah, the Patriot Act is like a whole thing in itself.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to envision Biden ever being really competent or like coherent.
Yeah.
I'm so
it's
used to-
sad.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Like I don't have any love for the guy at all, but it's just sad to see that all the elder abuse, he was definitely not all there, and the way they treated him, like they dragged him around. And
True,
apparently there
but
was like something about his auto pen signature on everything too.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, but I think he enjoyed being in the limelight. He just, I don't think when he was like there, but you know.
Right. Yeah.
Oh lordy. Oh god. We're really getting deep into it.
Yes. Oh, those were wild times. Wild times indeed.
Well, we have hit the hour mark, and this is usually where I like to wrap it up. Thank you so much once again for coming on, Libertarian Goth. It is always a pleasure.
Thank you for
And-
having me.
And where can people find you?
You can find me on X at Libertarian Goth with a 0 instead of an O in Goth. I also have a YouTube. That one's just Libertarian Goth, as it's spelled. Rumble's not really set up much, but yeah, those are the two best places you can find me. I do have an Instagram, but it's mostly for the shop. I don't really do the shop.
Awesome. And of course, I am Ben, aka the Fusebox. You can find me here on YouTube. You can also find me on Twitter at Fusebox7. And you can find me on Instagram at Outlaw Nights. And you can find me on Facebook under my real name, Ben Fuselier, Fuselier. If you like anything we had to say, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications. And heck, if you didn't like anything we had to say, go ahead and hit the dislike button, because whether you love me or hate me, it doesn't matter. It feeds me. I'm bad that way. And I wanted to close out because with this little video, if I can find it, for some reason it's not popping up. Hang on. Because on May 1st, we are going to be launching Outlaw Nights issue number 2 on Indiegogo, Kickstarter, and Fund My Comic. So you got 3 different places you can go if you want to get it. And if you missed out on issue 1, we've also got the Second Chance campaign that is in demand on Indiegogo, and you'll be able to get it on the next campaign in packaged together with issue 2. So I highly recommend it because I love pirates and outlaws, and just slightly dystopian futures with a little bright note. Yeah, no, that's a little odd. Where is my frickin' trailer? What did they do to it? What'd you do to it? What'd you do to it, Libertarian Goth?
I hid it from you. Put it in the
Why?
Himalayas. Because it was funny.
It's, you know, what do you dislike about pirates?
I don't know. Porch pirates kind of make me mad.
Hold on. Frickin'. Okay, I know I got it somewhere. Hold on. Wait, here we go. I'll go unfund my comic. I'll stop them that way. I feel like such an old man. I'm only 35, and I feel like I'm 55. Let me... Here we go. Alright. Got into that. Now, where is the thingy? Here we go. Okay. Okay. Here we go.
Good.
Yes, I finally did it. It only took me a year. All right. All right. So, thank you so much for joining me and all of us again, ladies and gentlemen, and we will talk to you all later.
Bye.